कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुनतीरावनचारि यमुनतीरावनचारि जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय जगद्गुरु शिला प्रभुपदा नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल। शिला प्रभुपाद की जय शिला गुरुदेव की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय नित्य गौर श्री कनक प्रेमानंद। One second. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्ति भवति नैष्ठति कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पास्कत्यादिशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. I would like to thank the temple management and for giving me this opportunity to speak on this wonderful subject on Srimad Bhagavatam. Basically, it is for my own purification. I seek all the devotees' blessings, Guru Maharaj blessings or Guru Parampara, all the lordships, Sri Sri Radha Bhaneshwar, Sri Sri Narasimhadev Bhagavan, Sri Sri Panchatattva, Gaur Vithai, Sri Sri Jagannath Shodramai, for their mercy to do this seva properly for the all pleasure of all the devotees. Hare Krishna. So this story of Shyamantaka jewel is there in this Srimad Bhagavatam, 56th chapter, 10 cantos, 56th chapter. This is such a wonderful story, fascinating story in Srimad Bhagavatam. There are many intricate twists and turns in this, and there are many lessons we can learn from this wonderful story of Srimad Bhagavatam. Prabhuji, just give me 1 minute. Hare Krishna. You can see the screen, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, okay. So, so basically I have divided into 5 sections. First we'll have an introduction, then the story of the Shyamantaka jewel, then the 10 important lessons from this very important and this very nice story, and then we'll understand what is the real jewel for the devotees from this story, what we can take, and then how we can build, we should be grateful to Srila Prabhupada who gave us this real jewel. So these are the 5, basically I have divided into 5 sections in today's topic. So as a first introduction, we can see from this 56th chapter, 2nd words, Sukadev Parikshit Maharaj is asking this very important question. Satrajitaha kim akarod brahman krishnasya kilbishaha Shyamantah kutastasya kasma datta suta hare. Is inquiring, Maharaj Parikshit is inquired, O Brahmana, what did King Satrajit do to offend Lord Krishna, and where did he get this Shyamantaka jewel, and why did he give his daughter to the Supreme Lord? So basically this story is all revolving around these questions asked by Maharaj Parikshit. So King Satrajit is a great, was in the Yadu dynasty, he was on part of this. Lord Krishna was in the Dwaraka and Satrajit was ruling one province of this Dwaraka. And he was in the jurisdiction of Dwarakdam. He was a great devotee of sun god. So he used to pray, and gradually he became a very close friend of sun god. He developed a relationship. And so Sun God was very much pleased with him, and he delivered to him an exceptional jewel known as Shyamantaka. And so Shatrajit was very proud of this jewel, and when he wore it on his around his locket around his neck, he looked exactly like an imitation sun god. So putting on his jewel, he would enter the city of Dwaraka, and people would think that the sun god has come into the city to see Krishna. So basically, the Dwarakawasis, they know that Lord Sri Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and sometimes the demigods, they used to visit to see Krishna. So we've seen that Lord Brahma also used to come and want to have an audience of Krishna. We know that story. And Krishna asked which Brahma has come. So like that, many demigods used to come and see Krishna when he was in Dwaraka. So they thought that Satyajit is, because he was wearing that Shyamantaka jewel, they were thinking that his sun god himself has come to see Krishna. They were very proud. Everyone knows that Satyajit king, but then they could not recognize him because this jewel was so bright. It was so dazzling that they could not recognize it is actually King Satyajit. So lesson 1, what we can learn from this is the demigod worship is very attractive, but the danger is that it can take a person away from the righteous path. Because what we see here, King Satyajit, he also knows that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is there, and everything is, all the devas are all is part and parcel. Everyone, the sun god is said in the Brahma Samhita, they are like the representative of the sun. They are like the eyes. So they know that one, but still, Satyajit was very much attracted to worship the sun god. Basically, for the reason is that he wanted some material favor from the sun god. Therefore, he was very much interested to worship sun god to get some material benefit. And the people of Dwaraka, they loved Krishna. They know that the Lord is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we can see that even when Krishna was there is a interest in worshipping of the demigods because the Shyamantaka jewel is not an ordinary jewel. It can produce amazing amount of gold on daily basis. Basically, the gold is a material element after all, not really different from the temporary body. The body and everything related to the material thing, we have to give up some or other day. But still, the allurement of material life remains. It's so powerful that it can quickly take a person away from the righteous path. So one time when devotee asked Srila Prabhupada that he wanted to worship Lord Ganesha. For the reason is that his justification is that he wanted to make a lot of money by worshipping Lord Ganesha, and he wanted to use in the service of Lord Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada said, you can worship Lord Ganesha privately, but not make a public show. But then he said one condition. First of all, you must give me $100,000 per month, not a single dollar less than that. Then he is allowed to do this worship of Lord Ganesha as he wanted. So that is my order. So Prabhupada gave a very strong order. So people, that's what in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord himself says that people are attracted to worship the demigods just for attaining material benefits. Antavantu Phalamdesh. These are all very temporary ones. So that's why the proper worship of demigods is later we will find that even the Dwarakavasis, they go to worship goddess Durga. For what purpose, that we will see in this story only. But here the motive of Satyajit was not pure. He wanted some material benefit and he wanted used for his own personal purpose. That's the reason. So what happened is that all the Dwarakavasis, they wanted to come and inform Krishna that the sun god has come to see him. At that time, Krishna was playing chess with Rukmani Devi. And the citizens of Dwaraka, they were feeling very proud that the Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead is living in Dwaraka, just like an ordinary human being. He was mingling with all the people of Dwaraka. So they came and informed that Lord Krishna, the sun god, has come with, and he's got such a bodily effulgence. And Krishna, he is the Paramatma. He knows who is the person who is coming. He laughed and then he said, "It is not that sun god has come. It is the King Satrajit. He has come. He has come to show off that he has got this jewel. So that's why he has come to Dwaraka." So Krishna knows exactly. And then Satrajit, yes, he actually did not come to see Krishna. He wanted to, he was overwhelmed by the Shyamantaka jewel. He installed the jewel in a temple to be worshipped by the Brahmanas. That was the purpose. So this is, Prabhupada writes in that Krishna book that this is an example of a less intelligent person worshipping a material thing. So Antavantu phalam tesham tad bhavati alpamedasham. So this is people who are less intelligent, they worship the material things. That this jewel is not God. It is just an it is an extraordinary jewel, gives so much of gold, but still it is not necessary that it has to be installed and then worshipped. But Satrajit, he was so much proud and he was so much attracted to the material aspect of it. So therefore, he installed it in a big temple and he engaged the Brahmanas to worship the jewel so that he can get a lot of gold every day. Because this Shyamantaka jewel can give almost 170 pounds of gold every day. So in today's society, people are worshipping anything and everything, whatever they like. They worship the cinema stars, they worship the sports person. They are all considered as great heroes and heroines. They worship. In India, we know that one. There are temples for Amitabh Bachchan. There are temples for many actors, and they do all kind of arati, abhishek, everything for all the sports stars, everyone. So that is India. Right. So who will not worship if some jewel is giving 170 pounds of gold every day? So natural for anyone that they can worship, isn't it? Like the ministers, they worship the chief minister because of them, they offer Shashtang pranams to the prime minister or the chief minister, because they know that when because of them they are surviving. So similarly, Satrajit was very much proud. So he started worshipping the jewel, Shyamantaka jewel. So lesson 2, what we can learn is that it is very easy to turn away from Krishna. So one time one devotee asked that he was telling Prabhupada that some devotee has left Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada said that actually don't be surprised that devotees leaving Krishna consciousness. Be surprised that devotees are, for the devotees who are practicing Krishna consciousness. So it is very easy to turn away from Krishna. So that's why Krishna himself says in the Bhagavad Gita that Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavam Mam Prapatyante. It's not that very easy that one person comes to Krishna, surrendered to Krishna, understanding that Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabhaha. So that soul is very, very rare. So giving up all the material attachment, giving up all the material attraction of this material world, and understanding that Krishna is the ultimate object of love, ultimate object of everything. So such kind of understanding, such kind of soul is very, very rare. So because Satrajit's motive was not pure, there was an expected benefit by worshipping this Shyamantaka jewel. So he was enjoying the huge amount of gold produced by that worship. But he didn't realize simply by worshipping the king of Dwaraka, Lord Sri Krishna, he would have got more valuable thing. basically a person goes to the god to get rid of impurities. But here we see that by worshipping the Shyamantaka jewel, his feverish mentality increases. So this is because of polluted desires. So we see that we will see as the story goes that because of this attraction, of this material attraction, he gets into a lot of trouble. Not only he, many people in this story, they get into trouble because of this material attraction, false attraction to this temporary nature of this world. So this is lesson 2. So when Satyajit, then Lord Krishna, he actually advised King Satyajit, actually the best of everything should be offered to the ruling chief of the country. He told that to Satyajit, it is better you hand over this jewel to King Ugrasena, and he is the king, so he will properly utilize the amount of gold. It will be for the welfare of the people. But then Satyajit, he refused without considering the results of ignoring the Lord's request. So by not offering the jewel to Krishna and try to enjoy it by himself, that object which has the power to remove all the misfortune, what happened is it became boomerang. It became the cause of misfortune. So this is what will happen. Materialistic person who can achieve such huge quantities of gold are not interested in Krishna consciousness. So sometimes, therefore, the Lord, by special arrangement, he takes away the accumulation of materialistic people. Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita, Bhogeshwarya prasaktanam taya pata chetasam vyavasayatmika buddhi samahuna vidyate. So those who are attracted to Bhoga and Aishwarya of this material world, for them, Vyavasayatmika buddhi, the resolute determination to engage in Krishna consciousness does not arise. So therefore here we see that although Satyajit is seeing Krishna directly, still his attraction for material thing is far more higher. So this is what happens. And what happened is that after that, his brother Prasena, he wanted to show off the jewel. Satyajit is the younger brother of Prasanna is the younger brother of Satyajit. So he wanted to display the opulence of the family. So what he did, he took the jewel and put it on his neck and rode on a horseback into the forest, making a show of his material opulence. So this is another biggest problem. People want to show off, right? And the result is that what happened is that when Satyajit Prasanna was moving here and there in the forest, he was attacked by a big lion, and the lion killed both the Prasanna and the horse, and the lion took the jewel and escaped to his cave.
जगह का प्रभाव पड़ता है, जगह का प्रभाव पड़ता है दूसरा पर्सन की एनर्जी.
So the lesson 3 here is danger of boasting or becoming proud of our material wealth. So this is what it happens. Prasanna wanted to boast himself that he has got such a wonderful jewel, and the result is that he lost his life. And this is, one should never become proud of the material opulence or wealth, whatever we get. While engaging in devotional service also, sometimes Krishna may bestow us some material power, or he can give us some material opulence or wealth, or sometimes power, position. It may come along while doing devotional service. So unless we realize that it's all by the mercy of Guru and Krishna, unless we utilize properly the service of Krishna, it will become a source of burden. It become a source of trouble if you don't have that proper consciousness and if you don't utilize those objects in the service of the Lord. And that's what happened, we see through Prasanna. Just by he wanted to show off the jewel, he lost his life. So this is a great lesson for we need to understand from this pastime. And we see practically in not only those time, even today, this has happened. There is a case, you must have, some of you must have heard. There was one guy, his name is, he's called Millionaire Datta Fuge from Pune. So he overnight he became a headlines. He came to the headlines. What he did, that he made a shirt made of gold, 1 crore, worth 1 crore, with crystal buttons and a matching gold belt. And he was wearing this. He was showing off by wearing this shirt, golden shirt, with so many ornaments as you can see in the picture. So he wanted to show off and become famous in one day. Truly, he became famous. It became he came in the headlines. And what happened after a few days? He was beaten mercilessly. He was attacked by a dozen men who dragged him out of the car, hit him with a sickle and stone. He died horribly. So people become very crazy about gold. Even nowadays, we see that chain snatching takes place every day. It's an everyday news in the newspaper in India. And it's so many people, they are seeing, they are hearing the news, but yet they wanted to wear, they go by wearing this gold chain, they want to show off, and then eventually they lose it. It has happened in our family also. My mother has lost gold chain. So many people have lost gold chain. This day they were going in the road and somebody came and took the chain. Of course, they were not wearing such huge amount of gold, but even if you are wearing a few grams of gold, that you are in danger. Just to understand that gold is such a thing that people cannot give up. Even though the price of the gold is going every day higher and higher, but still people can't resist from buying, the purchase the gold and wearing it and eventually losing it. So this has become a norm actually. such a what do you say that one? That much people are attracted to this yellow gold. So no wonder people are attracted, because even you see that in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, why the gold is so dangerous? Because when Kali Purusha, when Maharaj Parikshit, he told Kali Purusha, he gave 4 places to reside, where there is an intoxication, illicit sex, meat eating, and gambling are there. That 4 places he gave the Kali to reside. But then he asked to Maharaj Parikshit, these 4 things are not in your kingdom. Where should I go now? Then he said, you can be in the gold. So why this? And because of this gold, means so many families also, there is so much of problem, relationship problem among the relatives. When somebody dies, father and mother dies, then the gold property, there is a problem. There is a fight amongst the brothers and sisters who will take which jewel. So these things are all we are seeing practically. So anything which takes away our attraction from Krishna, the Supreme Lord, whether it is gold or anything else, it is a source of trouble. So this is one of the lessons we can learn from this pastime, that material thing we should only give that much attention required only for that minimum attention we have to give for all these temporary things. Otherwise, if we get overwhelmed, if we get over attracted to all these material things, then the result will be dangerous. And then we also see that this is also another funny thing I saw in the newspaper, that one guy, he has made a mask made of gold, 55 grams of yellow metal he used for making a mask. He also wanted to become very famous, just to see that he has got so much of wealth. And he made a mask out of gold. It's from Maharashtra, and the cost is around 2.89 lakhs. So these are all coming in the newspapers. So we can see that one, how people are attracted to this yellow metal, inviting trouble only. So coming back to the story now, what we can learn here is that after the king killed Prasanna, Jambavan, who was living in the forest, he came to know that the lion has got a rare jewel, and then Jambavan, he killed the lion, and then he took the jewel and gave it to his son as a toy. So that, and Jambavan, as we know, he was a great devotee of Lord since time of Lord Ramachandra. So he did not take the valuable jewel as something very much precious. He just gave it to his son for playing as a toy. And in the meantime, what happened is that Satrajit, he was very doubtful because his brother Prasanna, who went with the jewel, has not come back. He started doubting about Lord Sri Krishna because Satrajit did not obey Krishna's words that giving to Ugrasena. So because of that, he thought that Krishna has killed Prasanna and has taken the jewel. So this lesson 4 is that we can learn is that the world is infected with fault-finding tendency. Whom you may be a king or you may be any person. Even Lord Sri Krishna is not. People find fault with Krishna himself. So that is the nature of this material world. So we should not be surprised, or we should not be taken back that if someone find fault with us. So that's the nature of this material world. Of course, we should always introspect ourselves, that our own fault, and then we should rectify ourselves. But even though you may be so much perfect, also people will find fault, especially people who are in the management or people who are in a very important position, taking position. Whatever decision they take, some people will be not happy and some people will be happy. You cannot please everyone. So this keeps happening. So one can easily find fault with anybody. No one can become an exception. As we see here, as a situation here, there's no fault on Lord Sri Krishna, but yet Satrajit, he thought that Krishna is the who killed his brother Prasanna. So he was doubting about Krishna. So slowly the idea grew into a rumor, and Satrajit spread in every part of Dwaraka that Krishna has killed his brother Prasanna and has taken the jewel Shyamantaka. So this has become a rumor in Dwaraka. But then Lord Sri Krishna, he doesn't want unnecessarily people to think like that. So he decided to find out the jewel by himself and clear the doubt among the people. So he departed to find where is the jewel exactly. And then he found in the forest that Prasanna was killed by the lion, and the lion was also killed by the Jambavan, and the jewel was missing there. So there, the lesson 5 is, no one reputation is safe in this material world. So even though he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is faultless, but still people find fault with Krishna. People will say so many things. Why Krishna did that? Why Krishna did that? All the things they will question about Krishna, and they will question about Lord Rama. Why did Lord Rama kill Sugriva, Bali, behind the trees? Why did he ask Sita to enter into the fire? So many people ask questions without understanding, without hearing from the proper authorities. They come to a proper any conclusion. In fact, there are so many debates. It's very famous debate in South India that they debate on all these subject matters. So these are people, the subject matter become, for them, they don't have anything to discuss. They discuss on all these things without have any proper background of the stories. So so Lord Sri Krishna, he personally departed to the forest, and he found that Jambavan has taken the jewel, and then he saw that there is a cave there where Jambavan is residing. It's called Jambavan Caves. It is there still in Gujarat. And it is a very long tunnel. So he know that one. In fact, along with Krishna, many Dwarakavasis also came with Krishna. So by then the Lord told the Dwarakavasis that he said that all of them stay outside the tunnel, and he entered alone inside the tunnel because that they will be afraid to enter into the deep dark tunnel. So there, when Krishna entered into the tunnel, he saw that Jambavan's son was playing with that Shyamantaka jewel. As Krishna approached to take the jewel, the nurse who was taking care of the son, she cried. She's making a lot of sound, and Jambavan immediately appeared on the scene. And he did not realize that the Lord initially. So he thought that he has come to take in the jewel. So he started fighting with the Lord, Supreme Lord. Remember that Jambavan is a great devotee of Lord Ramachandra previously, in the previous avatar. So there was a huge fight between Jambavan and Lord Sri Krishna for more than 28 days. The fight was going. And Jambavan could not recognize, because he was so angry, he could not recognize Krishna as a master, as a supreme master. His whole body became so much tired because of, he was fighting with the Lord. Actually, the Lord was fighting, as doing a mock fighting with his devotee. He knows that Jambavan is devotee, but he wanted to, sometimes he has this tendency, Prabhupada writes in the purports, that the Lord, sometimes he want to fight. So nobody is there to fight with him. So he selects his confidential devotee just to enjoy the fighting spirit. So the Lord was fighting for 28 days along with Jambavan. And then finally, Jambavan, he realized that he is fighting with his master. So the lesson what we can learn from here is that Krishna can be known only by rendering service. So Krishna took it as a service, Jambavan. So fighting spirit of Jambavan, Krishna took it as a service. So after fighting 28 days, then only Jambavan realized that the Lord is not an ordinary personality, he is the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna is master, Lord Ramachandra himself. So that's a lesson number 6 we can learn from here. So we may talk so much of theory, we can read, hear all those things, but unless we do some practical devotional service, we can never realize Krishna. This is a point here we need to note down. So therefore, practical devotional service is very, very important. Just by theoretical knowledge or hearing only is not sufficient. We have to do practical devotional service to understand. Just Krishna himself says, Bhaktyamam Abhijanati. Unless one do, bhakti means what? Engaging the senses in the service of the Lord. Purified senses in the service of the Lord. So that is bhakti. So unless we render bhakti devotional service, we can never understand Krishna. So Jambavan, because the Lord took his fighting spirit, fighting activity as a service to Krishna, finally Krishna revealed to Jambavan that he is his master. So this is a lesson number 6 we can learn from this pastime. So we can see from this diagram that how there's a sloka in this Bhagavatam text 22, it is said very clearly that Savai Bhagavata Tena Yude Swaminatmanaha Purusham Prakritim Matva Kupito Nanubhava. Unaware of his true position and thinking him as an ordinary man, Jambavan angrily began fighting with the Supreme Lord, his master. So, first of all, there is a Purusham Prakriti Matva. Jambavan thought that he is an ordinary person initially. And then Kupito, his motives, misunderstanding. And then Yude, misbehavior, he fought, he opposed, he rebelled. And then Swa Minat Menaha, misfortune. So these are all happens because of ignorance, nanubhava, with unaware of the position, and this are all happen because of angry. So anger is one word short of danger. So this is whenever we get angry, we lose the power of discrimination. So this is very, very important that we should not get angry for unnecessarily. Because when we get angry for unnecessary things, then what happens? We cannot discriminate, we cannot think. Our intelligence will be taken away, and then we lose the power to make any decision. So the best way when we are getting angry, when we are when in a mood of anger, then the best way is to chant Hare Krishna. At that time, we should never take any decision which will, because such decisions will end up in misery. So this is another lesson we can learn from this pastime. So finally, after realizing that the Lord is not an ordinary person, is the Supreme Lord, the Lord, his own master, Lord Ramachandra, Lord Sri Krishna, then he is satisfied. Then Jambavan, he wanted to rectify his mistake by, and then the Lord himself told Jambavan the reason for coming to his cave and for searching for this Shyamantaka jewel. And then the whole story was told to Jambavan, and then he was very pleased, and then he offered his daughter, beautiful Jambavati, to Lord Sri Krishna. He married his daughter to Lord Sri Krishna in the cave only. So the episode of Jambavati's marriage with Lord Sri Krishna and the delivery of the jewel known as Shyamantaka, so it's all finished in the mountain cave. So because it took 28 days for the Lord, the fight went for 28 days. The people who are waiting, the Dwarkadash outside the tunnel, they thought that something undesirable must have happened. They could not understand for certain that what had actually happened inside. So they were feeling very sorry and tired. So they went back to Dwaraka. They thought that Krishna, they thought that they lost Krishna. So they went back to Dwaraka with a lot of remorse. Something undesirable must have happened. And then what happened, that they went to worship goddess Chandrabhaga, expansion of Durga Devi, for safe return of the Lord Krishna. So here we see that initially we saw that Chatrajit, he worshipped the sun god, and which because of that he was into great trouble, great trouble. And here we see that the Dwarakavasis, they worship the Chandrabhaga, the demigoddess, but for what purpose? They want Krishna to come safely. So this is acceptable. So and because they thought that because of the king Satrajit, all these things has happened, so they curse Chandra, this king Satrajit, because he has spread this rumor that the Lord Sri Krishna has taken the jewel and he has killed his brother. So they were cursing the king Satrajit, and they also worshipped Chandrabhaga for safe return of Krishna. So as soon as they were worshipping goddess Chandrabhaga, Lord Krishna returned with that jewel, along with Jambavati. He came back to Dwaraka. So the residents of Dwaraka, they became very happy to see Lord Sri Krishna back along with them. So Satrajit realized his mistake. Unnecessarily he thought that Krishna is the cause for his brother's death, and then he also felt very bad, and he also wanted to rectify his mistake. So what he did, he offered his daughter Satyabhama to Lord Sri Krishna. So now Krishna has got two queens in this episode. He married first Jambavati and now Satyabhama in this story so far. So Satrajit, he realized that he has done a great blunder. First of all, he refused Krishna's advice that Krishna told initially that you don't keep the jewel with you, you give it to Ugrasena, but he refused. And then he again made unnecessary rumor against Lord Sri Krishna. And finally he realized that Lord Sri Krishna, he is not the cause for his brother's death. Neither he was interested in the jewel. So to rectify it, what he did, he tried to offer his daughter Satyabhama, and also he offered the jewel back to Krishna. But then the Lord said that I am not in need of this jewel, but he accepted Jambavati, a great devotee of the Lord, as his wife. So Sukadev, so here the lesson number 9, here Sri Shuka Uvacha, Satrajitaha Swatanayam Krishnaya Kritakil Bishaha Shyamantakena Manina Swayam Udyam Yadatavan. Sukadev Goswami said, having offended Lord Sri Krishna, Satrajit tried as best he could to atone by presenting him with his daughter and the Shyamantaka jewel. So offense cannot be counteracted by any mundane object. So this we need to understand, that sometimes we do offenses and then we try to rectify. We think that we can rectify the offense by doing some charity or doing some pious activity. We can rectify our offense, but that will not counteract any that way. Like people, they do all kinds of offenses, they do sinful reaction, and then they go to Tirupati, they think that they can put in the hundi and they can absolve from doing sinful activity or offenses, but that is not acceptable, right? So that is the general tendency of the people. That's why we see in Isopanishad also that offenses cannot be counteracted by doing pious activity. Just like the elephant, after taking bath, it's putting the mud again. So we cannot counteract such offenses by doing pious activity or by mundane material objects. So that is the lesson number 9 we can learn from this episode. So then what happened? This jewel has now, so Krishna has returned back the jewel to King Satrajit, and Satrajit was having that jewel. Now the story is not ending here. Because of this jewel, again Satrajit is landing into big problem. Because what happened at that time, Krishna and Balaram, they went out of Dwaraka for some other reason. So at that time, what happened is there was a king known as Shatadhanva. He wanted to plot, and he wanted to kill the king Satrajit, and he wanted to take the jewel. And in fact, there is another interesting thing. There was, along with Shatadhanva, there is also Akrura in the conspiracy, and Kritavarma was in the conspiracy. And there is a very interesting thing that one may ask, why Akrura is a great devotee of the Lord, why he was involved in the conspiracy to kill Satrajit. Because the reason was that Prabhupada writes there, because King Akrura, he took Krishna away from the residence of Vrajavasis. So the Vrajavasis, they were very upset with Akrura, and because of that reaction, and Akrura, somehow or other, he got involved in this plot to kill Satrajit. So Shatadhanva, what he did, and the Jiva Goswami, he gives an answer. Akrura, this reason was given by Jiva Goswami. Because he wanted the feelings of Vrajavasis, the Akrura was forced to join the conspiracy. And Kritavarma, because he was associated with Kamsa, he was contaminated by sinful reaction. Kritavarma is one of the in the Yadu Narayana Sena, he was one of the important generals. So he was also affected by this sinful reaction. He got the idea. He got into the plot of killing Satrajit. So what happened is Shatadhanva, one day he entered when King Satrajit was sleeping. He entered in the dead of the night and he killed, just like a butcher, he killed King Satrajit. And then he took away the jewel from there. And when Lord Sri Krishna, he came, and Satyabhama, because daughter Satyabhama, when she came to know that her father was killed, she became very upset. And then she went, because Krishna was not in Dwaraka, she went to meet Krishna and informed about this sad story. And Krishna, when he heard, he also became very sad to hear the his father-in-law's sudden death. And so he wanted to again, the second time he wanted to trace this jewel and back, because Shatadhanva has taken the jewel and he wanted to take it back. So now Shatadhanva, he went to Kritavarma and he went to Akrura, because Krishna and Balaram, they were trace where is his, find out where is Shatadhanva and kill him and punish him because of this sinful act. So what he did, Shatadhanva, he went to Kritavarma and Akrura to take their shelter, but both Kritavarma and Akrura, they did not accept their act, although they were in the conspiracy, but they did not approve the act of killing him when he was sleeping. So they refused to accept them. So what he did, Shatadhanva, he gave back the jewel to Akrura, and then he started running, fleeing from Dwaraka. But Krishna and Balaram, they chased him, and then they killed Krishna and killed Shatadhanva. Finally, and he thought both Krishna and Balaram, they thought that the jewel is with Shatadhanva, but they found that Shatadhanva was not, there is no jewel was not along with Shatadhanva. And later, Akrura, they also left from Dwaraka. And because Akrura left with the jewel from Dwaraka, what happened is that the nature of the jewel is that wherever the jewel is worshipped, that place there will not be any war, pestilence, disease, nothing will be there. But when Akrura left from that place, even when Krishna was present there, there was a lot of famine, disease was there among the citizens. So then everyone understood that actually because Akrura has left with the jewel, this has happened. That is proper, but there's a sentimental understanding, because when Lord Sri Krishna is there, there cannot be any misfortune. But it is just for the common people, they understanding, they thought that because the jewel has gone from Dwaraka, this has happened. Anyway, Lord Sri Krishna, what he did, he summoned Akrura, because he knows that he is a Paramatma, he knows where is the jewel. So he knows that, and meanwhile, everyone came to know that Akrura, because of the gold, so much of gold, he was giving a lot of charity and he was doing a lot of yajnas, and they all understood the jewel must be with Akrura. And finally, Krishna, Lord Sri Krishna, he summons Akrura because we cannot hide anything from Krishna. And then he frankly told Krishna that I know that you have the jewel with you. So now kindly I'm not interested in of the jewel, but then I want to show to Balaram that the jewel is with you. So kindly can you show that jewel so that everyone can understand the jewel is with you. So therefore, then Akrura, he understood he cannot hide anything from Krishna. He showed the jewel, and then finally the jewel was handed to the king Ugrasena. So that's how the story finally got ended. And we can see here so much of trouble, twists and turns has happened, and so many lessons we can learn from this wonderful pastime of the Shyamantaka jewel. But the main important point we have to understand actually what is the real jewel for the devotee. So that we can see from Kulashekara Alvar, it's a very beautiful poem he's writing. He writes, Bhakta Paya Bhujanga Garudamani Trailokya Rakshamani Gopi Lochana Chata Kambudamani Saundarya Mudramani Yaktantamani Rukmani Ganakucha Dvandvaita Bhushamani Steyo Deva Shikamani Dishato Na Gopala Chudamani. So he says that what is the real jewel? He is the jewel riding on the back of Garuda, who carries away the Lord's devotees on his wings. He is the magic jewel protecting the three worlds, the jewel-like cloud attracting the Chataka bird, eyes of the gopis, and the jewel among the all who gesture gracefully. He is the only jeweled ornament on the ample breast of Queen Rukmani, who is herself the jewel of beloved consorts. May the crown jewel of all gods, the best of the cowards, grant us the supreme benedictions. So he compares the Lord, and he says in every stanza, every 2 times he's comparing the Lord as the Money. Money means the rare jewel. So the Supreme Lord is the rare jewel for the devotees. So therefore, we should not misuse our independent, thinking that the temporary things, attraction things in this material world as the real thing. The real thing is the Supreme Lord. He is the real jewel. So this is another lesson we can learn from this wonderful pastime. And therefore, the Lord is present. And in another sloka, he talks about the Lord and his names are not different. Therefore, what he is praying, he's saying that Srinatha Narayana Vasudeva Sri Krishna Bhakta Priya Chakrabani Sri Padmanabha Achyuta Kaitabare Sri Rama Padmaksha Hare Murare Ananta Vaikunta Mukunda Krishna Govinda Dhamodara Madhaveti Bhaktam Samarto Apina Bhakti Kaschit Aho Jananam Vyasanami Mukhyam. So he says that, O Srinatha, Narayana, Vasudeva, Divine Krishna, O kind friend of your devotees, O Chakrapani, Padmanabha, Achyuta, Kaitabare, Rama, Padmaksha, Hari Murare, O Ananta, Vaikunda, Mukunda, Krishna, Govinda, Dhamodara, Madhava, although all people can address you, still they remain silent. Just see how eager they are for their own peril. So just like the so many people who are after this Shyamantaka jewel, they lost their lives, they lost their reputation. People of this world, they forgetting the real jewel, the Lord and his holy name. They are after this material world, the beauty, the temporary fleeting happiness of this material world. So Kulasekara Alvar is lamenting for those people who cannot see the real jewel, and they are who is lamenting for the people who are after their own peril of behind this temporary nature of this material world. So therefore he is praying Shri Vallabheti Varadeti Daya Pareti Bhakta Priyeti Bhavaluntana Kovideti Nadeti Nagasayane Jagannivaseti Alapinam Pratitanam Kuruma Mukunda. So what is he praying? Oh Mukunda, my Lord, please let me become a constant reciter of your names, addressing you as Sri Vallabha, who is very dear to Lakshmi, Varada, the bestower of benedictions, Dayapara, who is causelessly merciful, Bhakta Priya, who is very dear to his devotees, Bhavaluntina Kovida, who is expert at plundering the status quo of repeated birth and death, the Supreme Lord, Jagannivasa, the resort of the cosmos, and Nagasayana, the Lord who lies down on the serpent bed. So he wants to just recite this constant reciting of the Lord's holy name. That's his only wish. So Srila Prabhupada has given this greatest jewel. What is this? Hare Krishna mantra. Because the Lord and his names are not different. So Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. These holy names are the real wealth, and this we have got already on this rare jewel from our founder Acharya, whom we celebrated the 125th anniversary. So let us cherish this, let us safeguard this great jewel. Even though we don't have any qualification, we are not qualified, but very mercifully the Acharya has given to us through his disciples, and we should be very carefully chant his holy name without any offenses. That is the only thing we have to safeguard this jewel. And he has given the worship of the Lord Shri Radha Madhava. So we are about to celebrate the appearance day of Srimati Radharani. Therefore, and this Falasuti is there. Anyone who recites this here, this wonderful pastime of the Lord Vishnu, all these sinful reactions and inauspiciousness, and bestows all the auspiciousness. Anyone who recites and hears or remembers, it will drive away his own infamy and sins and all, and attain peace. And as we are about to celebrate Srimati Radharani's appearance day, so she is the most merciful personality who can award us the Lord, because she is Madan Mohini, one who attracts the Lord of Madan Kamadeva, Lord Sri Krishna. So by her mercy, we can get Lord Sri Krishna. So then in the Hare Krishna mantra, the word Hare refers to Srimati Radharani. So as we pray to her to kindly engage in the Lord's service by carefully we are maintained by chanting the holy name, we are, by the mercy of the Guru and Gauranga, we can surely get the mercy of the Lord. And to sum up what we learned today, so we saw the introduction to this story, how the Sukadeva Goswami recite the story of Maharaj Parikshit's question. And then we saw the Shyamantaka jewel story, how the jewel has, how Satyajit was worshipping the sun god, and then he got this jewel, and then he lost it, Prasanna, and then we heard the whole stories. And the most important thing is the 10 important lessons we heard from this. We can learn from these stories. And then we also understand about the Hare Krishna mantra, the real jewel for the devotees. And we should be very grateful to Srila Prabhupada who gave us this real jewel, the holy names and worship of Sri Sri Radha Madhava. So thank you very much for all the devotees for your kind attention. And once again, I thank the temple management and the devotees for kindly blessing me and giving me this opportunity to purify my own consciousness. And I sincerely pray once again all the devotees to kindly keep showering your mercy upon me so that I can be of some seva to all of you. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.